Hi there, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 16.2, Product of Powers Property. Today's notes, you're going to have 9 things that you write down. The first 3 things are the definitions of the powers, and then the rest of the things that you are just trying and applying the product of powers property. So make sure that you leave some space between each one. I would maybe skip 2 lines between each number. Once you're done numbering your paper, you can play the video to get started. So just wanted you to watch kind of I'm just going to do the first 3 here. When you do, this is an example of product of powers. For instance, we have 2 to the second and 2 to the fourth. We want to see that in repeated multiplication form. So I know that 2 to the second means 2 times 2. And I know 2 to the fourth means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Over here it says to write the power, and that's just meaning writing it with an exponent and a base. I know that I have 2's on the same, so that's going to be the common number, so that'll be my base. And then I just count how many 2's I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from 2 to the second times 2 to the fourth, I did my repeated multiplication. That's going to change to 2 to the sixth. Maybe start to notice how we change from the product and get to the power. On the second one, you have -3 to the second, -3 to the fourth. That's what this is looking like. -3 to the second means 2 -3's, and -3 to the fourth means 4 -3's. Adding them all together again, we get -3 in parentheses, because that's how it originally was written, to the 6th power. For this one, we have 7 to the third times 7 to the second. Here's what that looks like. 7 to the third is 3 7's. 7 to the second is 2 7's, for a grand total of 7 to the fifth. This is just one product of powers property, but notice that when you have the same base, all you're doing is adding the exponents together. So here's going to be the page where you're going to write. You will need to write down each of the product of powers property and make sure that you write down and the example of it. Okay, so if you don't want to write down the algebra part, you don't have to, but at least the words and the number examples for each one. This is going to take you a little bit of time to do, so go ahead and pause the video, write down both the words and the numbers for each of these products. Make sure you write down the name of the product powers as well, and then click play whenever you're ready to go on. So I'm just going to show you a few examples of each of the different product of powers. We've already done the first product of power. This is a power of power, where you have an exponent with a base in the parentheses and then another exponent on the outside. So this one essentially means 3 to the second power and then again to the third power. So that means you're going to see 3 sets of 3 to the second power. Notice what happens here. I have 3 times 3, 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 for a grand total of 3 to the 6th power. Again, all they did here was multiply the 2 exponents. 2 to the second power, then to the 4th power will look like this. Notice I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 2 to the second power. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2's. So that means my grand total for exponents and bases would be 2 to the 8th power. Again here, y to the third and then to the third power will look like this. Notice I have 1, 2, 3 sets of y to the thirds. That is 3, 6, 9 y's for a grand total of y to the 9th. All we're doing is when we have a power of a power is we're multiplying the exponents to get what my new exponent would be. Here are some other examples. Remember, this is going to be a power within parentheses. I have 2 to the third power. That just means I need to see 2 times 3 to the third power, which means 2 times 3, 2 times 3, and 2 times 3. What that means is you're going to see 3 2's and 3 3's. So basically you are distributing the exponent to each of the numbers. So for this one, we'll see 2 times 5 and 2 times 5 again, because that's to the second power. Notice I have 2 2's and 2 5's. So 2 squared times 5 squared. For this one again, 6a to the 4th power. That will look like this. 6a times 6a times 6a times 6a. That means I have 4 6's, so 6 to the 4th, and I have 4 a's, so a to the 4th. Again, you're just distributing the exponent to everything inside the parentheses. Here's some more that you can watch. Again, whenever you have the same base, you will add exponents. Maybe think of this. Same, meaning add exponents. Same has an a in it, so does add. 2 to the 4th, that means I'm going to see 4 2's, and 2 to the 5th means I'm going to see 5 2's for a grand total of 9 2's. All I did was add the exponents. For letter B, it looks a little bit different. Notice how -5 does not have an exponent, but remember, if a number doesn't have an exponent, the automatic number that should be there would be a 1. Even if the 1 wasn't there, you can notice I have -5 to the 6th, which is meaning I'm going to have 6 -5's, and another -5, which makes a grand total of 7 -5's. Over here I have C, x to the 3rd and x to the 7th. 3 x's plus another 7 x's will give me 10 x's, x to the 10th. Whenever you have power of the power, just remember you're multiplying each of the powers. Or you can rewrite it to make it look like this. 3 to the 4th to the 3rd power means I'm going to see 3 to the 4ths. Each of these is going to have 4 3's in it, so that is 4, 8, 12. So 3 to the 12th. You can either write it out like this, or just know I'm supposed to multiply my two exponents. For this one, letter B, let's try just multiplying the exponents. W to the 5th power and then to the 4th power means I'm just going to multiply 5 times 4 to get W to the 20th power. Remember, for these, you're just distributing the exponent to each one. So that means it should look like this written out. 2x times 2x times 2x, which means I'm going to have 3 2's and 3 x's. So 2 to the 3rd times x to the 3rd. For letter B, let's just practice distributing. The 2 will be distributing to the 3, to the x, and to the y. That's what this will look like. 3 to the 2nd times x to the 2nd times y to the 2nd. Here's where you're actually going to get to try some examples on your own. So go ahead and pause the video. Try questions 4 through 9. Once you're done, click play so you can see the correct answers. All right, here we go. 4 should be 6 squared times 6 to the 4th, which means you're just adding the exponents because they have the same base. So that'll be 6 to the 6th power. Number 5, would it be -1/2 in parentheses to the 9th power. Number 6, it'll be z to the 13th power. If you wanted to keep z in parentheses, you could do that. Or if you just wrote it as this, z to the 13th, that was fine. Number 7 would be 4 to the 12th power. Number 8 will be y to the 8th power. And then the last one, number 9, will be -4 to the 6th power. Don't get confused by these double parentheses. That just means -4 was originally in parentheses. Hopefully you did well on the questions that you tried. Now it's time for you to try some homework. Make sure that you have the numbers 1 through 9 answered correctly for me to check in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning in.